With their recent victory secured, Zara and Ethan began the challenging task of helping the rebels rebuild their lives and community. The Zalorian threat had diminished significantly, but Zara knew the path ahead was still uncertain. Together, they focused on creating a safe and stable future for everyone who had fought bravely alongside them. The days were busy and demanding. Ethan led efforts to strengthen the new community, building structures for shelter and storage. Zara helped organize food and medical supplies, using her psychic abilities to ease people's worries and fears. Their combined leadership brought comfort and stability to the group. One quiet evening, Zara noticed a young boy named Sam sitting alone, staring sadly at the sand. She approached gently, sitting down beside him. "What's troubling you, Sam?" Zara asked softly. Sam looked up, his eyes wide with worry. "I lost my parents during the first attacks. Sometimes I wonder if I'll ever feel safe again." Zara placed a comforting arm around him, offering warmth and reassurance. "You're not alone, Sam. We're all here for you. And I promise Ethan and I will always do our best to protect you." The boy relaxed slightly, comforted by Zara's genuine kindness. "Thank you, Zara. I'm glad you're here." As Zara returned to Ethan's side, she shared her concerns about the emotional state of their people. Ethan nodded thoughtfully. "Everyone has suffered greatly," Ethan acknowledged. "But together, we can help them heal. They trust us, Zara. They know we're here for them." Zara smiled softly, reassured by Ethan's calm confidence. "You're right, Ethan. We'll help them rebuild their hope." As weeks passed, the community thrived. Zara and Ethan made sure that everyone felt valued and cared for. Zara's psychic abilities provided comfort and strength, helping people face their memories and fears. Ethan's calm leadership and strategic planning kept everything organized and secure. One evening, a scout returned with alarming news. A small group of Zalorian loyalists, refusing to accept defeat, had regrouped and were preparing a desperate final attack. Ethan quickly gathered everyone together, speaking clearly and calmly. "We knew peace might not come easily," Ethan began gently, "but we've come so far already. This is our home now. We must protect it together." Zara stepped forward, her voice firm and reassuring. "We have faced worse challenges before. They are desperate, but we are united and strong." Inspired by their leaders, the community prepared for the confrontation. Ethan devised careful defensive plans, while Zara used her powers to strengthen the group's confidence. Soon the loyalist attackers arrived, determined and fierce. Ethan and Zara stood side by side, ready to defend their new home. Zara's psychic abilities allowed her to sense and counter enemy movements, while Ethan led bravely, rallying their defenders. The battle was short but intense. Zara and Ethan worked seamlessly together, protecting their people and ensuring the loyalists could not breach their defenses. The rebels fought courageously, confident in their leader's dot. As the loyalists realized they could not win, they finally retreated. The rebels celebrated, relieved that their community had once again stood strong. Afterward, Zara walked through the community, comforting those who had been injured and reassuring those who were shaken. Ethan helped organize recovery efforts, his steady presence calming everyone. That night, exhausted yet relieved, Zara and Ethan sat together quietly, reflecting on the day's events. Zara rested her head gently on Ethan's shoulder, feeling safe and content. "We've come so far," Zara whispered softly. "I never imagined we could achieve all this. Together, we can do anything," Ethan replied sincerely, squeezing her hand gently. "Our strength comes from each other." As they sat together, under the vast star-filled sky, Zara felt immense gratitude. Despite all the hardships they had faced, they had built something beautiful and strong, a community full of hope and promise. Over the following weeks, life slowly returned to normal. Zara continued using her psychic abilities to heal emotional wounds, while Ethan guided everyone in improving their homes and defenses. Together, they watched their community grow stronger and more resilient every day. One afternoon, Zara sensed something unusual, a mixture of curiosity and caution from the desert beyond their settlement. She quickly alerted Ethan, who organized a small group to investigate. They soon discovered another small group of Zalorians, this time peaceful and eager to speak. Their leader, a woman named Alia, stepped forward carefully. "We seek peace, Alia," explained gently. "We no longer wish to fight. Your bravery and kindness have shown us a better path." Zara stepped forward, smiling warmly. "We welcome anyone who chooses peace. Together, we can build a new future." Alia smiled gratefully, clearly relieved. The newcomers quickly became part of the community, eager to contribute and help. Zara felt deeply proud, knowing their example had inspired others to choose peace over conflict. Ethan watched Zara warmly as she welcomed the newcomers, his admiration clear. Later that evening, he gently took Zara's hand, leading her away from the group for a quiet moment alone. "Zara," Ethan began softly, "you continue to amaze me. Your kindness and strength inspire everyone around you, including me." Zara smiled warmly, her heart full of happiness. "And your bravery and calm guidance have shown me what true leadership is. I couldn't have done any of this without you." Ethan looked deeply into her eyes, sincere and heartfelt. "I love you, Zara. No matter what comes next, we'll face it together." "Always?" Zara replied softly, her voice filled with emotion. "I love you, Ethan." They stood together quietly, feeling secure and deeply connected. Around them, their community thrived, built on trust, courage, and unity. Zara knew challenges might still come, but she felt ready for them, confident in the strength and love she shared with Ethan. As they returned to their people, Ethan and Zara felt deeply proud and fulfilled. Together, they had built a future of peace and hope, stronger and brighter than anything they had ever imagined possible. After their recent victory, Ethan and Zara knew they had become stronger. Their community of rebels was united and determined, yet the enemy had not given up. Reports from scouts indicated that the Zalorian leaders were planning a final powerful assault, intending to destroy the rebels completely. Ethan gathered everyone together, speaking clearly and calmly. "We have fought hard, and we have stood strong. The enemy fears us now, and we must be ready for their next move." Zara stood by his side, her gentle presence reassuring everyone. "We are stronger together. They cannot defeat us if we remain united." The rebels cheered, feeling encouraged by Ethan and Zara's leadership. They spent the following days preparing defenses, storing supplies, and planning strategies. Zara continued to train her psychic powers, knowing they would be essential in the coming battle. As tension increased, Zara found herself often seeking Ethan's quiet strength. Their bond had grown deeper, a source of comfort for them both. During quiet moments, they discussed their dreams and hopes for the future, determined not to let fear weaken their resolve. One clear morning, scouts brought urgent news. The Zalorians had assembled their forces and were marching towards the rebel hideout, stronger than ever before. Ethan acted quickly, calmly organizing everyone into their positions. Zara stood at his side, feeling the powerful emotions of their people. She reached out gently with her psychic abilities, calming their fears and strengthening their courage. "Remember, we're fighting for our freedom and our future," Zara reminded them gently. "We will succeed." Soon the enemy arrived. Hundreds of Zalorian warriors advanced, heavily armed and determined. Ethan stood tall, commanding his group bravely and clearly. Zara remained close, using her powers to anticipate enemy movements, helping the rebels fight effectively. The battle was fierce and relentless. Ethan moved swiftly, helping wherever he was needed most, his bravery inspiring everyone around him. Zara protected him and the rebels, her psychic abilities guiding their movements and actions. As the fight continued, Zara saw a group of warriors heading directly toward Ethan, determined to eliminate him. Her heart raced with fear, and she rushed forward, placing herself protectively in front of Ethan. She gathered her strength, pushing out a powerful psychic wave that threw the attackers back. Ethan turned quickly, realizing what Zara had done. His eyes met hers, filled with gratitude and worry. "Be careful, Zara," he said urgently. "I won't let anything happen to you," she replied firmly, her voice steady with determination. Together, they continued to fight side by side, their connection stronger than ever. Zara used her psychic powers expertly, sensing attacks before they happened and guiding their defenses effectively. Despite their best efforts, Zara felt exhaustion creeping in. The enemy's numbers seemed endless. Ethan noticed her tiredness, stepping protectively closer to support her. "Stay strong, Zara," Ethan urged gently. "We're almost through this." Drawing strength from Ethan's encouragement, Zara pushed forward, refusing to let the rebels down. She knew how much everyone depended on her. Slowly, the tide of the battle began to turn, the Zilorian forces weakening as they lost courage. Finally, seeing their leaders fall or retreat, the remaining Zilorian warriors surrendered, realizing they had lost. Cheers rose from the rebels, their victory clear and decisive. Ethan and Zara looked around, relieved and grateful. They had done it, secured their people's freedom. Ethan embraced Zara warmly, his gratitude clear in his eyes. "You saved us again," Ethan said softly, his voice filled with emotion. "We saved each other," Zara replied gently, smiling warmly. "I couldn't have done it without you." As they stood together, the rebels gathered around them, cheering and thanking them both for their leadership. Zara felt pride and joy, realizing they had achieved something incredible together. That evening, a joyful celebration took place. The community rejoiced in their freedom, sharing food, stories, and laughter. Ethan and Zara sat close together, enjoying the moment and the happiness surrounding them. As night fell, Ethan led Zara away from the celebration to a quiet spot overlooking the peaceful desert sands. He took Zara's hands in his own, looking deeply into her eyes. "Zara," Ethan began gently, his voice steady and heartfelt, "we have faced so much together. I never expected to find someone like you when I came to Theros. You've shown me courage, strength, and kindness beyond anything I imagined." Zara smiled softly, her heart racing with happiness. "Ethan, you've given me hope, comfort, and true companionship. You've become my strength." Ethan took a deep breath, his voice sincere. "Zara, I can't imagine a future without you by my side. I love you deeply, and I want us to face whatever comes next together always." Zara's eyes filled with happy tears as she squeezed Ethan's hands gently. "I love you too, Ethan. You mean more to me than words can express. I want to build our future together." They embraced warmly, feeling their connection deepen profoundly. They knew their journey wasn't finished. Challenges still lay ahead. But together, Ethan and Zara felt prepared to face anything, confident in their love and unity. Returning to the celebration, Ethan and Zara shared their happiness with the rebels, who cheered and celebrated the news. Their love inspired everyone, reinforcing the bonds that held the community together. Late into the night, as the rebels finally rested, Zara and Ethan sat quietly together, looking at the stars. Zara leaned comfortably against Ethan, feeling safe and loved. "We did it," Zara whispered happily, looking up at Ethan with shining eyes. "Yes," Ethan agreed gently, "and we'll keep fighting for our future together." Under the vast starfield sky, Ethan and Zara felt peace and certainty, ready to face whatever the future held, secure in the knowledge that they would never face it alone. In the days following the intense battle, Ethan slowly regained his strength. Zara stayed near him, helping him heal and keeping his spirits high. The rebels, inspired by their recent victory, felt more confident and determined. Everyone worked tirelessly, strengthening their new hideout and preparing for whatever challenges might lie ahead. Zara found herself growing closer to Ethan, their shared experiences deepening their bond. She admired Ethan's bravery, his kindness, and his ability to keep calm under pressure. Ethan, in turn, saw in Zara a strength and grace that he had never encountered before. Their feelings grew steadily, but both were cautious, careful not to distract from their important mission. One clear evening, Zara and Ethan sat by a small fire, watching the flames flicker gently. The desert air was cool, and the stars above shone brightly. Zara felt peaceful, grateful for the quiet moment with Ethan. "You know," Ethan began softly, "I've learned a lot since coming here, about strength, courage, and trust." Zara smiled, looking into his eyes. "I've learned too. You've taught me what it means to have true hope." Ethan looked deeply at Zara, his expression gentle and sincere. "Zara, meeting you changed my life. You've made me see things differently." Her heart beat quickly, and Zara took a deep breath. "I feel the same, Ethan. You've shown me kindness and compassion I never knew existed." They sat quietly for a moment, both understanding the importance of the words they shared. Around them, the rebels laughed softly, talking in low, comforting voices. It felt like a true family, bonded by shared goals and mutual trust. Early the next morning, scouts returned with news. The oppressive Zilorian leaders were tightening their grip, sending more patrols into the desert. Ethan gathered the rebels quickly, planning carefully to avoid detection and prepare defenses. "We must be cautious," Ethan warned gently. "They are becoming more desperate to find us." Zara stepped forward, determination clear on her face. "We have shown that together we can resist them. We just need to stay strong and united." Encouraged by Zara's words, the rebels agreed, renewing their commitment. Ethan and Zara spent the next several days organizing training sessions and drills. Zara continued to practice her psychic skills, growing stronger and more confident each day. One afternoon, as Zara was practicing her abilities with a group of rebels, she suddenly sensed something unusual. She stopped abruptly, her eyes wide. With concern, "Something's coming," she said urgently. "But it's different this time." Ethan quickly came to her side. "What do you sense?" Zara closed her eyes, focusing deeply. "It's fear, but mixed with hope. Someone needs our help." Quickly, Ethan and Zara led a small group toward the feeling Zara sensed. They moved carefully through the desert, alert and prepared for anything. Soon they spotted figures in the distance. As they approached, Zara saw a group of weary, frightened Zilorians, clearly fleeing from danger. Zara immediately sensed their genuine need and stepped forward. "We're here to help," she assured them gently. "You're safe now." Relief flooded the faces of the newcomers. One woman stepped forward cautiously. "We escaped from the city. They are hunting anyone suspected of rebellion. We heard rumors of you, Zara, that you're alive and fighting. We hoped you'd help us." Zara smiled warmly, welcoming them. "You're safe here. Together, we can build something new." Back at the hideout, the newcomers quickly became part of the community. Zara felt encouraged, knowing their group was growing stronger each day. Ethan continued to help organize, ensuring everyone was prepared. And safe as the days passed, Ethan and Zara spent more time together, their feelings for each other growing stronger. One night, Ethan took Zara's hand, leading her away from the group for a quiet moment alone. Standing beneath the bright moonlight, Ethan spoke softly. "Zara, through all these challenges, the one constant has been you. I've come to rely on you deeply." Zara smiled softly, her heart full of warmth. "I feel the same, Ethan. You've become more important to me than I ever imagined possible." Ethan took a deep breath, looking deeply into Zara's eyes. "Zara, whatever happens next, I want to face it with you, together." Zara's eyes shone with happiness. "Always, Ethan. Together." In that quiet moment, their bond became stronger, a promise silently made. They returned to the camp, their hearts lighter, filled with hope for the future. Over the next few weeks, the community thrived under Ethan and Zara's leadership. The rebels trained hard, becoming more skilled and confident. Zara's psychic powers provided comfort and strength to the entire group, while Ethan's strategic planning kept everyone safe. Yet, even with their growing strength, they knew the fight wasn't over. Ethan frequently reminded everyone to remain vigilant, ready for anything. One evening, Zara sensed trouble again, a stronger danger approaching quickly. She alerted Ethan immediately, her voice filled with urgency. "They're coming again," Zara warned clearly. Stronger than before, Ethan quickly organized the rebels, preparing for battle. The community stood ready, determined, and united. Zara took her place at Ethan's side, their bond giving them strength. Soon, a large force of Zalorian warriors appeared, intent on crushing the rebels. The fight was fierce and intense. Zara used her psychic abilities expertly, predicting attacks and protecting those around her. Ethan fought bravely, keeping morale high and leading with courage. Though outnumbered, their unity and strength began to overpower the enemy. The Zalorians started to retreat, their confidence shaken as the last attackers fled. Cheers rose from the rebels. Ethan smiled proudly, exhausted but relieved. Zara stood beside him, feeling deeply grateful and hopeful. They had won another victory, but they both knew the struggle wasn't over. However, in that moment, Ethan and Zara felt powerful and united, ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead. Together, they had given their people hope, strength, and a chance at freedom. As they stood hand in hand, watching the sun rise over the vast desert, Zara knew their bond would carry them through whatever awaited. Days turned into weeks as Zara and Ethan stayed with the rebels, helping them grow stronger and more organized. The hideout, once just a simple cave hidden among the rocks, transformed into a safe and comfortable shelter. Zara used her abilities to keep everyone's spirits high, while Ethan worked hard to make their defenses stronger and to ensure their supplies were secure. Zara felt a deep sense of belonging with the rebels. She understood their struggles and shared their dreams of freedom. Ethan remained steadfast by her side, his calm presence reassuring her whenever she felt worried or unsure. One morning, a scout returned with troubling news. Zalorian leaders had learned that Zara was still alive. They were furious and determined to capture her again. Ethan quickly gathered the rebels, making plans to ensure their safety. "We can't stay here," Ethan explained gently but firmly. "They know our location now. It's too dangerous. We need to move quickly." The rebels looked worried, but Zara stepped forward confidently. "Ethan is right. We must find a new place, somewhere safer. We'll survive this together." Encouraged by Zara's strength, the rebels began packing immediately. Ethan guided everyone, organizing supplies and weapons carefully. Within hours, the group was ready to leave. They traveled carefully through the desert, choosing paths hidden from sight. Zara stayed alert, her senses stretched wide, searching for danger. Ethan led at the front, guiding them steadily across the challenging terrain. During the journey, Zara and Ethan talked quietly, sharing their thoughts and concerns. Ethan admired Zara's calm strength, her gentle but firm way of keeping everyone hopeful. Zara admired Ethan's courage, intelligence, and kindness, trusting him deeply. Late that evening, the group found another hidden area, protected by tall cliffs and large rocks. It offered shelter from sight and was easily defended. Ethan quickly began organizing the camp, setting up security measures while Zara helped reassure and comfort the tired rebels as they settled into their new home. Zara noticed a young Zalorian girl named Lila sitting alone, looking afraid and sad. Zara gently approached and sat beside her, speaking softly. "Are you okay, Lila?" Zara asked gently. Lila looked up with tear-filled eyes. "I'm scared, Zara. They almost found us. What if they come again?" Zara smiled warmly, placing a comforting hand on Lila's shoulder. "We're stronger now. Ethan and I won't let anything happen to you." Lila relaxed a little, comforted by Zara's confidence. "Do you really think we can be free someday?" "Yes," Zara replied firmly, her eyes shining with determination. "I believe we can. Together, we can change things." Lila smiled back, hope returning to her eyes. Zara felt encouraged by this simple moment, realizing how important her role was. To these people. That night, as the group rested, Zara couldn't sleep. She walked quietly outside, gazing up at the clear, star-filled sky. Ethan soon joined her, noticing her thoughtful expression. "Can't sleep?" Ethan asked gently. Zara shook her head softly. "Just thinking about everything. Sometimes I wonder if we can really win." Ethan took her hand reassuringly. "I believe we can. You're strong, Zara. Stronger than you know. You give everyone here hope." Zara squeezed his hand gently, comforted by his words. "I'm grateful you're here, Ethan. I don't think I could do this alone." "You don't have to," Ethan assured her quietly. "I'll be here, no matter what happens." Feeling reassured, Zara leaned against Ethan, grateful for his comforting presence. They stood quietly together, taking strength from each other's support. The following days were busy. Ethan and Zara worked closely together, training the rebels in survival and defense. Zara's psychic abilities improved with practice, allowing her to better sense danger and protect the group. Ethan was proud of her progress, supporting and encouraging her every step of the way. One afternoon, as Zara taught some rebels how to stay calm under stress, she felt a sudden wave of fear. Quickly, she turned toward Ethan, eyes wide. "They're coming," she warned urgently. Ethan immediately gathered everyone, quickly organizing defensive positions. Zara stayed close, using her abilities to keep everyone calm and ready. Soon, Zalorian warriors appeared, moving swiftly across the sand. Zara and Ethan stood together at the front, ready to defend their friends. The battle was intense. Zara's powers proved invaluable, sensing enemies' moves before they happened. Ethan fought bravely, protecting those around him with strength and determination. Despite their efforts, the enemy was strong. Zara felt overwhelmed but refused to give in. She knew the rebels depended on her strength and leadership. Suddenly, Zara saw Ethan fall, wounded by an attacker. Her heart raced in fear as she rushed to his side, quickly protecting him from further harm. With fierce determination, she pushed her powers harder, forcing their attackers back with powerful waves of psychic energy. The Zalorians retreated, shocked and afraid of Zara's immense power. Zara knelt beside Ethan, tears filling her eyes. As she checked his injuries, "Ethan, please stay with me," Zara whispered desperately, gently touching his face. Ethan opened his eyes slowly, smiling weakly up at her. "I'm okay, Zara. You saved us all." Relief filled Zara, tears of gratitude and joy falling down her cheeks. "You scared me," she said softly, gently helping him sit up. Ethan took her hand, smiling gently. "I'm here, Zara, and I'll always be here for you." The rebels cheered around them, grateful for their victory. Zara felt immense pride and hope, knowing they had survived because they stood together. As night fell, Ethan rested quietly, recovering from his wounds. Zara stayed close, watching him sleep peacefully. She realized how much Ethan meant to her, understanding her feelings clearly for the first time. Quietly, Zara promised herself that she would keep fighting, not just for her freedom, but for Ethan, for their future together, and for everyone who depended on them. She knew the path ahead would be challenging, but with Ethan by her side, she felt ready to face whatever came next. Zara woke up feeling stronger but still tired. She slowly sat up, looking around at the small, comfortable space inside Ethan's vehicle. Ethan was sitting nearby, quietly examining maps and data on his handheld device. Hearing her movement, he turned and smiled warmly. "Good to see you awake," Ethan said softly. "How do you feel now?" "Better, thank you," Zara replied quietly, her voice soft and careful. She looked into Ethan's kind eyes and felt safe. "You saved my life," Ethan shrugged gently, modest about his actions. "Anyone would have done the same." "I'm glad I found you." "When I did," Zara nodded slowly, thoughtful. She wasn't sure that anyone from her own people would have done the same. The memory of being abandoned by her own kind made her heart ache. Ethan noticed her sadness and carefully asked, "Do you want to talk about what happened?" Zara took a deep breath, deciding to trust him. "My name is Zara. My people are called the Zalorians. They are powerful, but cruel. Our leaders are afraid of anyone who might be stronger than them. I have special powers abilities that can sense feelings and thoughts. They fear my abilities and saw me as a threat. That is why they left me to die in the desert. Ethan listened quietly, sympathy clear on his face. I'm sorry, Zara. That must have been very difficult for you. It was, Zara admitted, looking down. But you have given me a second chance. Ethan gently placed a comforting hand on her shoulder. You deserve that chance. Feeling encouraged by Ethan's kindness, Zara continued, I don't know what to do now. If they discover I'm alive, they'll come after me again. We'll figure something out, Ethan promised firmly. I'll help you stay safe. Zara nodded, grateful and touched by his support. Thank you, Ethan. Over the next few days, Zara continued to recover under Ethan's careful watch. She learned more about him and his mission on Theros. Ethan explained how his people from Earth needed new resources, and he was here exploring for valuable minerals to help his world. Zara admired his bravery and dedication. Each day, their bond grew stronger as they shared stories about their lives. Ethan was amazed when Zara demonstrated her psychic abilities. She showed him how she could sense his emotions, even his hidden worries. Zara taught Ethan simple ways to clear his mind, helping him feel calmer and more focused. In return, Ethan taught Zara about survival in harsh environments, skills she would need if she was to stay safe. After Zara fully recovered, Ethan decided they had to move. Staying in one place too long was dangerous. Together, they prepared the vehicle for travel, loading supplies, and ensuring they had everything needed for a long journey. As they traveled across the desert, Zara found herself fascinated by Ethan's knowledge and skills. He was calm, clever, and resourceful, always prepared for any challenge. Zara was grateful to have him at her side. They spoke softly, sharing thoughts, dreams, and hopes. Slowly, Zara felt a new sense of purpose and strength growing within her. Afternoon, as they moved carefully across the dunes, Ethan's scanner alerted them to something ahead. Zara sensed a faint feeling of fear and desperation. Ethan slowed the vehicle, carefully approaching a rocky area. Soon they discovered a hidden entrance among the rocks. Zara felt strong emotions from within: fear, hope, and determination. Ethan cautiously led the way, and Zara followed closely behind. Inside, they found a small group of Zalorians, tired and scared. They were survivors, rebels who opposed the cruel leaders of their people. Zara's heart filled with compassion and recognition. She understood their pain and struggle. When the rebels saw Zara, their eyes widened in shock and hope. They had heard of her, the powerful psychic who had defied the rulers. Zara stepped forward confidently, feeling Ethan's supportive presence behind her. You're alive! One of the rebels exclaimed with awe. We thought they had destroyed you. Zara smiled warmly. I was rescued by a human friend, she explained, gesturing toward Ethan. We're here to help. The rebels welcomed Ethan and Zara warmly, relieved to have allies in their struggle. Zara's psychic abilities quickly became essential. She used her powers to encourage and strengthen the rebels, boosting their courage and resolve. Ethan contributed with strategic advice and technical support, making plans to secure their hideout and improve their defenses. Together, Zara and Ethan brought hope and unity to the group. Despite the danger and uncertainty, Zara felt a deep sense of fulfillment. She knew this was where she belonged, fighting to help her people find freedom. As the days passed, Ethan and Zara continued to grow closer. They relied on each other, drawing strength from their bond. Zara found herself feeling something deeper than friendship for Ethan, but she kept these feelings hidden, unsure of how to express them. Ethan, too, realized his feelings for Zara were growing. He admired her bravery, kindness, and strength. He wanted to protect her, not just as a friend, but as someone special in his heart. Yet he hesitated, respecting Zara's need to focus on the rebel struggle. One evening, As the sun set beautifully over the endless desert sands, Ethan and Zara stood together, watching the sky. Zara turned to Ethan, her eyes reflecting her. Gratitude and trust. I don't know what I would have done without you, Ethan, Zara said softly. You gave me strength when I had none. You've given me strength too, Ethan replied gently. You showed me courage and hope. Zara smiled warmly. We make a good team. Ethan nodded, smiling back. The best? Together they stood silently watching. The stars appear in the vast sky above. Both felt the connection between them deepen, knowing that whatever happened next, they would face it together. The sun burned brightly over the endless sands of planet Theros. It was a harsh world, full of heat and danger, with nothing but rolling dunes as far as the eye could see. In the middle of this vast desert, Zara lay still, her breathing shallow. Her delicate blue skin was now pale and dry, her long dark hair tangled from the whipping winds. She was barely alive, abandoned here by her own people. Zara was different from others in her world. She had special psychic abilities, powers that allowed her to sense the thoughts and feelings of others, even to influence them if she concentrated hard enough. But her powers had made her dangerous to the rulers of her people, the Zilorians. The leaders feared Zara's strength, worried she would rise up against them, so they had ordered her execution. Instead of a swift death, the Zilorians had left Zara here in the scorching desert to suffer. The sun's heat drained her strength, and her hope faded with every passing moment. Zara knew she was close to the end, yet something inside her refused to give up completely. She clung to the small chance, no matter how slim, that somehow she might survive. Not far from Zara's position, Ethan was moving slowly across the sand, eyes fixed on his handheld scanner. Ethan was a human explorer from Earth, sent to Theros to find rare minerals that could help his people back home. He had spent weeks on this hot planet, traveling alone, collecting samples, and mapping the dangerous terrain. Ethan was strong and determined, accustomed to hardship and challenge. Suddenly, his scanner beeped softly. Ethan paused and looked down, curious. The device indicated life signs nearby. He frowned, puzzled. Theros was known to be almost empty of life, especially in the hottest parts of the desert. Cautiously, Ethan moved towards the signal. After walking for several minutes, Ethan spotted something unusual in the distance. His heart quickened. He quickened his pace, squinting against the sun. Soon, he realized it was a person, a woman lying, motionless on the sand. Concern filled him, and Ethan rushed forward. When he reached Zara, he knelt quickly beside her, shading her face from the burning sun. She was still alive, but barely. Ethan gently lifted her head, offering her water from his canteen. At first, Zara was too weak to respond, but as the cool water touched her lips, her eyes fluttered open briefly. Ethan felt relief wash over him. Hold on, Ethan whispered gently. I'll get you out of here. Carefully, he lifted Zara into his arms, surprised at how light and fragile she felt. Carrying her, he moved toward his vehicle, parked a short distance away. Ethan's vehicle was built specifically for harsh environments. Equipped with powerful air conditioning and medical supplies. When he reached the vehicle, Ethan laid Zara gently on the soft seat inside, quickly turning on the cooling system. He carefully applied water and ointment to her sunburned skin, hoping to ease her pain. Zara began breathing more evenly, though she remained unconscious. As Zara rested, Ethan examined her closely. He had never seen anyone quite like her. Her blue skin shimmered softly, even damaged by the sun, and there was something ethereal and unique about her. Ethan wondered what her story was, how she had come to be left alone in such a cruel place. Hours passed, and Zara finally began to stir. Ethan sat beside her, ready to reassure her that she was safe. Slowly, Zara's eyes opened again, this time staying open as she looked around in confusion. She met Ethan's gaze, her expression wary and frightened. Who are you? She whispered weakly. My name is Ethan, he answered gently. You're safe now. I found you out there in the desert. Why did you save me? She asked, confused but grateful. Ethan smiled softly. Because you needed help. Everyone deserves a chance to live. Zara stared at him for a moment, feeling his genuine kindness. Tears filled her eyes, not just from relief, but from the realization that a stranger had risked himself to save her when her own people had condemned her. Thank you, she said softly, her voice filled with emotion. Rest now, Ethan told her gently. You're still very weak. I'll make sure you're safe until you're strong again. As Zara closed her eyes, she felt safe for the first time in a long while. Ethan watched her sleep, determined to keep his promise. He knew that Zara's presence was special, that her survival meant something important. But for now, his only goal was to protect her, to keep her alive. Outside, the sun continued to blaze, relentless and harsh. But inside the vehicle, there was peace, hope, and the quiet strength of two people whose paths had crossed by chance, but would remain connected forever.